I love Selena Gomez. I watched Wizards of Waverly Place. I don't understand why companies make plastic lip liners that need to be sharpened. It's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing a review on some of the products from the new brand Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez. I didn't get everything because there's a lot of stuff coming up in the fall and Christmas collections, and I just got my, Sephora Fantasy Basket package, so I just got a few things that I think I would enjoy and that I'm most interested in. I have not set my face yet, and that is because the first product I'm going to be trying from Rare Beauty is Soft Pinch Matte Liquid Blush, and I got it in the shade Bliss. So they have the matte formula and they have a more dewy formula. I did get the matte formula. I did get these products from Sephora, but you can also purchase online at Rare Beauty. I'm from Canada, so I had to get it from Sephora. So the blush are an airy, lightweight liquid formula that blends and builds effortlessly for a soft flush of color. It's infused with long-lasting color pigments for all-day wear, and a little goes a long way. It's mistake-proof. It layers beautifully over liquid powder formulas without disturbing makeup. It's available in matte and dewy finishes. I believe it comes in 8 shades if I'm correct. Another shade I would really like to try is Joy. I feel like it seems to be one of the favorites. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to apply the blush on my unset face. Then I'm going to set it. On the other side, I'm going to set it first and then apply it. We're going to see if it actually applies well over top of powder, or if it's more of a product you're going to want to apply before powder. This is what the box looks like. So it has that texture. It kind of is almost like fabric. I don't know what they call this texture, but it is really, it just, the simple touches are what's, makes a product stand out. So I really like the outer packaging. It comes with 0.25 fluid ounces, 7.5 milliliters. And then it has the shade color on the top with our little logo. The actual packaging of the product is just stunning. It's very unique. There's nothing really that looks similar. It is in a tube and it has a kind of like a circular top. It's very, aesthetically pleasing. It would be a very beautiful product to kind of have it in your bathroom or on your makeup table. It's going to actually look nice. And then when you open it, it does have, similar to a doe foot applicator, a little bit different, like a little bit more slanted. Yeah, you get quite a bit of pigment, especially since it is very pigmented. So this is just one dot. And when you rub it in, it dries down from the looks of it really quickly, but look at how pigmented that is. It's almost like a peachy nude, which I really love those shades of blush, and that's why I picked this one. I'm going to apply it on this side. I'm gonna kind of take a little bit off so it's not crazy. I'm gonna put one here and one here. And I'm actually going to use Clean Beauty Blender and just start working that into the skin with that and see how that goes. So this, again, as I said, this side has not been set. This is right on top of foundation. Wow, that's beautiful, eh? Like, it gives such a natural flush of color, and I've been so obsessed with cream and liquid, blushes and contour and bronzer. They just look so healthy because you don't get that powdery finish, but this is the matte finish, so it's definitely matte. It's dried down really well. I'm gonna add just one more dot because I do like a strong blush, but I think that's so pretty. I like that color, and I think that it really blended perfectly. Like, didn't lift up my foundation at all. It didn't ruin any of the coverage. It didn't, it blended right in and kind of melted right in. You don't really see like a before, a starting point and an ending point. It just kind of melted into the foundation. It doesn't really emphasize any texture. It really is just stunning. The other side on this set, over top of a set face, so over top of powder, and we'll see if that looks okay as well. I'm gonna use my Laura Mercier powder. Blush, I think, still is poking through, so that's nice, but it's very subtle. Like, it looks very, very natural. I mean, I could build it too, right? So now that it's set, let's do the same thing. I'm gonna do 3 this time since I did to begin with. Gonna use the Beauty Blender still. I mean, I guess I could have used a brush to test that as well. As you can see already, it's looking a little bit more pigmented because I think it's not blending as much into the foundation. It's kind of just blending on top of the powder because the powder, there's a barrier there, right? I love a cream or liquid blush that can apply over top of powder because it's my preferred method. I like applying blush after I powder and set my face. So look at how beautifully it blended. I'm gonna just put a little bit more on this side and use a brush and see what kind of result we get from a brush. I think we get a pretty similar result. It's blending in really well with a brush as well. It looks very much a part of the makeup and it looks really good. So I'm very impressed with this. Love this color. Like, what a stunning color. It did dry down fast, but I didn't feel like it was, you know, I was racing to blend it in before it dried down. Like, I felt like I had more than enough time to blend it out before it dried down. And like, even now I feel like I can kind of work the product in even more and it's totally dry. Like, it's almost like it goes down to a powder. And you can still kind of blend it and work with it. So I really do feel like it's kind of foolproof, mistake proof. Definitely pigmented. Like, I think that you don't need a ton, and I would go in with a little bit. You can always, it builds well, so you can always add more, but I would be careful because if you, especially if you don't like a strong blush, you might want to just go in with a little bit at a time. I love Selena Gomez. When I was growing up, she was pretty popular. I watched Wizards of Waverly Place. I loved her in that show. I also loved her music, and so I've kind of grown up really, you know, liking and admiring her for her work and her music and all that. I saw this, I had to get it. I was so pumped. Yeah, that blush was definitely a success, I think, so far. I will also let you guys know, I'll update you at the end of the day, do a little wear test and let you know how it wore. So the next product that I have is the Perfect Strokes eyeliner, the matte liquid liner. I'm going to just quickly kind of bronze my face, put some highlighter on, do a quick little eye look, and we're gonna come back and test this baby out. A little quick eye look using my Charlotte Tilbury Instant Eye Palette in Pillow Talk. I have not used this enough and I always forget how good it is. So similar, very similar packaging, pretty much the same. It's supposed to be an intense waterproof eyeliner that delivers bold, even strokes with a calligraphy style brush. Is very unique. This is one of my favorite things about the packaging of these products is everything's unique. Like, what eyeliner pen is shaped like that? So it's very pointed at the end. Now this is the bottom, this is the top, so this part comes off and then you have your pen. Like, everything's just so elegant and pretty, but very simple and clean looking. So it's kind of like a cream shaped color. And then when you take a look at the pen, it actually looks quite thick, but it comes to a very precise point. So there's supposed to be, I think it's 1,000 like brush bristles, and they're supposed to come together to create a very fine point. You can make different thickness and like different strokes with the different pressure that you apply. I've gone over it twice now on this thicker one and it definitely is a lot richer. So I don't know if it's because it's just getting started. You know, shaking it obviously will help. As long as it doesn't look like grayish, it doesn't really look gray to me. It looks black. It's just maybe not quite as rich as like my new Patrick Star one or the Fenty, but it's pretty close. Like, I'd say it's similar to the KVD, which is one of my favorites. So I'm not really upset about the, you know, color to it. I think it's good. So let's try this out. The only thing I'd say is I definitely see a little bit of transferring onto the bottom, and it did bleed a touch, but as I've said before in past videos, that is like way too common for me. I wish that I didn't have so much texture in my eyes because it just like pools in there. So maybe I'm just gonna try the next eye and apply a little bit lighter, even lighter pressure and see if that helps, because that sometimes can help. I really like this liner so far. I had like the slightest bit of transfer just down into this part of my inner corner, but not as bad as this part. So if you do find transferring or bleeding is an issue, I would just recommend applying very light pressure so that you're not dispersing too much pigment, because that's typically what happens is if you apply too much of the liquidy pigment, then it's going to, that's why it's going to travel up those lines and down onto your lower lash line. So just be really light with it. And I think that that's the best tip. You know, it's just kind of my eyes. But this one glided like almost maybe the easiest of all of my liners, just maybe because it is a little bit thicker. So when you know, for like filling in, it was so easy. If you're really light with it and use just the tip, you can still create a very precise thin line. So that's something that I really enjoyed. It was just so easy. I feel like now that I have it on my eyes, it looks even more dark. And it's not like I was going over it many times. Really good. I think actually this eyeliner is good so far. So the last thing that we're testing today from Rare Beauty is the Lip Souffle Matte Lip Cream. I got it in the shade Courage, which is the more nude shade. The color, really beautiful, kind of, actually kind of matches my eye. So first I'll show you, the packaging's a little bit different. From what I would think, it kind of matches the swatch. So I think they come in the shade that the lipstick, the liquid lipstick is. Then you have the actual product packaging, very beautiful. As I said, everything looks very simple and clean and stunning and elegant. You get the color, I believe, of the shade that you get. So this is the shade of the liquid lipstick and the white cap. And this is the applicator, so it's a more flat applicator, but I will see how it applies. So this brand also comes with some brushes, a sponge, it comes with a lip balm, it comes with the foundation, the concealer, the liquid highlight, a blotting powder, puff, that kind of thing. Obviously I did not get all of that, but definitely something in the future I would like to try, as I said before. The prices are really reasonable as well. Like this cost me, I think this was 25, the liner was 25, and the blush was 26, and that's in Canadian. So they would all be around $20 an item in US, which is really reasonable, especially considering like a lot of drugstore products are getting up to that price as well. I don't understand why companies make plastic lip liners that need to be sharpened. It's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Like literally, it not only is hard to do, but it also makes your liner look really like not as good. Okay, so I'm gonna be using the Makeup Forever Aqua Lip in, what shade is this? 2C, I think it is. Doesn't really have a name on it. And it looks kind of similar to the lipstick. So I'm gonna just line my lips. Now let's try this baby out. Okay, so far so good. I like the color of this. I like the texture. It's actually kind of similar to the new MAC Powder Kiss liquid lipsticks, like that moussey like texture. Doesn't really have too much of a smell. It has maybe a little bit of like almost like a vanilla type scent to it, but nothing too strong. Yeah, really creamy on the lips and pigmented. It doesn't feel dry. It went on really well. Yeah, I'm happy with everything so far. I do like the applicator. I felt like you could use kind of the tip of it to get along the line, and then it's large enough that it really like glides on quickly and it, you know, applies quickly. I'm going to let you guys know how they wear by the end of the day and how long things last. I don't know if anything had like any claims to how long it's supposed to last. Stay tuned to see how this stuff wears and my final review at the end of the day. Hey guys, so I'm back and I have different makeup on, so you're probably wondering what's happening. I actually had a client yesterday evening, the day that I recorded what you just saw. And my mask just took off way too much makeup. Like basically you could not even see the blush or any foundation in this area at all. So basically what I did is I did my makeup again today with all of the Rare Beauty products, and I'm gonna give it another wear test. So I've had my makeup on for over an hour, maybe an hour and a half now. And yeah, so in love with all of the products so far. Absolutely love this blush. Today I actually used a brush. I put the blush on my hand as I'm sorry, my hand is literally always dirty. It's just always dirty. Nobody even asks me what's going on with my hand because I feel like they just know at this point. It's just, there's always some sort of makeup on the back of my hand. Applied it with the brush instead of applying directly on the face. I applied it again over top of powder today, and I think it's actually like what I prefer. I love this blush. I actually think it's one of my new favorites. Well, we'll see how it wears today just because I didn't really get a good idea yesterday. The liner, I'm obsessed, guys. Literally obsessed. Like, look at this eyeliner. Is it not like perfect? It's so easy. It literally glides on like a dream. Yesterday I noticed it bled a little bit and I was really upset. It transferred a bit. I was so upset because I really loved the way that it, whoa, Starbucks fell. I really liked the way that it looked, that it applied. I was really light-handed, barely was touching my skin, and because it's so pigmented, it's still, I didn't have to go over it a bunch of times. And that actually, I had no bleeding, no transferring whatsoever. So we'll see if it transfers by the end of the day. But I think if you have an inner, kind of corner where you find eyeliner, liquid eyeliner pools or bleeds or feathers or transfers, you can get it to not transfer at all, which is actually really hard for me to find when that doesn't. So this was really exciting, and basically you just have to be really light so you're not dispersing too much pigment and too much product. And then also applied this again today. Love it so far. My lip liner is a little bit darker than yesterday, which wasn't really my intention. I kind of just picked one, swatched it quick on my hand, was like, oh, that matches, but then it was a little bit darker than I thought. But anyways, it looks really good, and we're gonna see how everything lasts today, and I will actually check back in with you tonight with my final review. So it's been about 4 hours since I finished my makeup. The lipstick's worn down quite a bit, especially in the center where I didn't put the lip liner. Lasted about, I'd say 3 hours, and then it started to break down. Is it like the most exciting product I tried from the brand? No, but am I still impressed? Yes. Over the moon about this eyeliner. It's, I think, one of my favorites now. And the blush is looking really good still, so I'll update you on any changes at the end of the day. Hey guys, so it's been about 8.5 hours since I did my makeup, and I think everything looks really good. So after 2 days of testing these products, honestly, I'm so happy with them. I've had no bleeding at all. I've had actually no transferring today, which I did have a little bit of yesterday, and a little bit of bleeding, but I told you before that I just was pressing. Sorry, my hair is a disaster right now, so just don't mind that. I did apply it with a lot less pressure, especially on the inner corner. So I just was tapping really, like just resting it really lightly. And then I think that, obviously worked out better. Definitely will be using that again. The blush, still kicking. I have not touched anything up. So the actual foundation is wearing a little bit, but I have a little announcement for you guys. This is some good news. I'm wearing, drum roll please, the Smashbox Foundation. I put like the smallest little amount, like maybe half a pea, maybe like half to 3/4 of a pea size in my Revlon Candid foundation, just to add a little bit more coverage, and it didn't get funky on me, which I usually would get like holes on my chin. It was separating it like almost like probably an hour within wearing. When I wear the foundation alone, it looks awful. So I think if I use just the smallest amount to add a little bit of coverage, I still can get some use out of the foundation. So that's like one positive out of the foundation, that I'm actually still able to use it. It can add some coverage, and of course that happens, and it finally works for me right after I do my best and worst video. And after me trying it literally like probably 6 times and it never working. It works after I do the video and tell you guys that it sucks. But I just want to update you guys on that because it did turn out, this makeup did turn out pretty good, and I love the Revlon foundation. So usually that's not the longest wearing foundation either. It usually like will break down a little bit faster than some of my longer wearing ones. So I didn't really expect my makeup to look like perfect by the end of the day. Blush is still kicking. I think it still looks really good. It kind of just has this natural flush and I love it. I love the formula. It's really easy to work with, really easy to blend. So ultimately I'm really happy with Rare Beauty so far. I recommend it. I haven't tried any of the other products, so I can't really speak on those, but so far so good. And I'm really excited to see what else Selena Gomez comes out with. Stay tuned for some really exciting fall and Christmas collection reviews. I have the Natasha Denona palette review coming out. I have the new Charlotte Tilbury palette coming out. A lot of exciting stuff coming, so don't forget to subscribe. Hit that red button for me, please. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Have a wonderful day, guys.